This is how slowly the EU moves. Brussels admits it'll take 2 years to scrap tampon tax. Bureaucrats admit they have still not brought forward any proposals on scrapping the controversial tax on tampons almost 18 months after being urged to do so by EU leaders. Officials in Brussels said they only expect to be able to table legislation allowing countries to end charging VAT on sanitary products by the end of 2017 despite a public outcry. EU leaders asked Jean-Claude Juncker's Commission to draw up plans to end the scandal back in March last year following a storm of controversy in the run-up to the Brexit vote. European rules mean that countries are forced to charge VAT on tampons. The UK rate is 5% because they are technically classified as luxury, non-essential items. Despite being a health product, Leave campaigners highlighted the issue as a classic of overbearing EU bureaucracy and said it was ludicrous that Britain had to seek Brussels' permission to make such a simple change to taxation. David Cameron headed to Brussels and secured a highly publicised agreement last spring which, he said on March the 21st, would lead to bureaucrats publishing a proposal on ending the tampon tax in the next few days. In reply, EU Commissioner Pierre Moscovici promised him bureaucrats would bring forward legislative proposals this year. But almost 18 months on, no concrete legislation has materialised, meaning that when the change is finally introduced, British women will barely benefit from it before the country leaves the EU anyway. Even if the EU Commission brings forward a proposed law by the end of the year, it will still have to be debated by the Parliament and signed off by the Council, meaning there is little chance of implementation before spring 2018. In that time, it is estimated that British women will have to fork out more than £30 million in taxes their own government has actively wanted to put an end to. This is how slowly the EU moves and why we need to get out and make our own laws. UKIP MEP Margot Parker. Critics today said the astonishing delay was yet more evidence of the sclerotic nature of the EU project, adding that Britain will be able to legislate more efficiently once outside the bloc. East Midlands MEP Margot Parker, UKIP's spokesman for Women and Equalities, said, "A year on and I am still having to ask the EU when it will come forward with proposals to enable VAT on tampons to be scrapped. Can it tell us, give any details regarding what the proposals will contain?" The answer I received is that the Commission intends to adopt a proposal by the end of 2017 that would grant member states more flexibility in setting VAT rates. This is how slowly the EU moves and why we need to get out and make our own laws. Following the furore over the tax, Mr. Cameron announced all the proceeds raised by the government would go into a special fund to be distributed to women's charities. In 2015-16, charging VAT on tampons raised £15 million from British women, and there was controversy when a tranche of the cash was awarded to an anti-abortion group. In a statement, the EU Commission said, as announced in the Action Plan on VAT, the Commission intends to adopt a legislative proposal by the end of 2017 that would grant member states more flexibility in setting VAT rates. If adopted by the Council, the new rules could result in greater freedom on the number of reduced rates and their level. One of the objectives of this proposal, the details of which will be disclosed in due time, will be to restore equality of treatment in the single market for those member states who want to apply reduced rates. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and don't forget to subscribe English News Hub for new excited videos.